Well, on Masters of Spin this morning, how more Australians are being specifically targeted by advertising on social media. Perhaps you've noticed it. TikTok has recently created an easy way for businesses to reach millions of users, and now Twitter is doing something similar.
Yeah, they've rolled out new ad features and revamped their algorithms to cater for each individual user.
Well, joining us now are our Masters of Spin advertising and marketing experts, Matt Bywater and Dee Madigan. Welcome to you both. Lovely to have you back in here. Matt, look, we've seen this form of advertising on Facebook, on Instagram. It's not surprising, is it? Should reach over to TikTok.
And Twitter, to be quite frank, has actually plateaued in recent years. I mean, it's been 4 or 5 years of little growth, not magnificent growth. But this sector is like $150 billion plus. The next 3 to 4 years is going to almost double, like pretty close to double. So they've got to capitalise on that, and they've got to do something different because they're letting ground go to a lot of social media platforms.
The problem is that Twitter is basically a word-based thing, and advertising works best when it's visual. So, I will advertise, when I'm doing my work on nearly every platform except for Twitter, but it's the one I personally use the most, and that's where Twitter will struggle because it's just not a visual platform at the moment.
Okay. Well, that's why they bought Vine years ago. They just haven't done enough with it.
Yeah. So if they were to introduce that you could use vision more, but then what does that become?
Well, the problem as well is a lot of people use different apps to look at Twitter. Like with Facebook, you can't. You have to use the native app. With Twitter, a lot of people don't. And you use those apps, so they filter out the ad. So I think Twitter will actually struggle.
Yeah.
But they say they want to double their revenue, by 2023? Is that possible?
It is because of the scope of the market. Their biggest challenge is not just Facebook, it's all the Chinese sites as well. There's massive amounts of market there. But the funny thing about Twitter, though, if you look at the dollars per user, they're right up. I think LinkedIn's one and Twitter's not far behind. But their number of users, Facebook kills everyone just because they've got so many users.
They're richer people on Twitter, but kind of harder to advertise to, so it's a trickier market.
Okay, all right. Well, internet provider, that's why you guys get paid the big bucks, because you've got to work all this stuff out, right? Well, internet provider Belong has taken a rather different approach with its latest campaign. The company has created a 2-minute-long song to play on commercial radio. The love song is about the internet provider and how users get stuck in an internet search wormhole. Let's have a listen.
Learning how to turn spinach into pasta, shooting aliens with some kid in Alaska, reading how the air gets clean with whale poo in your unlimited da-da-da.
Dee, I watched this on my phone and I thought, who else is going to watch the whole 2 minutes? But I did too, because of this segment. Yeah. But it's being played on radio. Yeah. That's smart, right? Because it sounds as if it is a love song.
It is gorgeous. And do you know what I love? The internet, where everyone's like, oh, everything's so bad on the internet and it's changed the world. But there's so much good about it. Like
learning about whale poo.
Imagine our kids stuck at home during lockdown without social media to communicate with their friends. There's so much good and no one talks about the good stuff. And yes, you go into a wormhole for 3 hours and discover how whale poo can clear the atmosphere. But I love that it makes you feel good about something. I'm sick of everyone bagging the whole internet as if the whole internet is bad, when it has changed the world in so many positive ways. It's democratised information. It's given people a voice who didn't have it before. So I really love this approach.
Yeah, and I think the important thing here for these guys is they really attacked the low end of the market. So that when they first set this up was to hit the Vodafone customers. And they've done that. The problem with the low end of the market is you get them and you lose them. Yeah. So what they're trying to do now is build a greater emotional appeal. If you look at the words in this song, this is aimed directly at the younger market and those to actually get them and keep them, which has been a problem for them.
Great chat, guys.
Yeah, they're after the lower end, the younger market, and they got us, Dee. So.
Right on spec.
Back to the drawing board.
Where would we be if we couldn't say, just might Google that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you both.
All right.